Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. Look at me pretending like she's going to be able to manage this the whole way through. I mean, you're very cute at the moment. You're Mummy's baby girl. Mummy's baby cat. Put that down. She's not interested in any of this cuddling. I've got my new t-shirt as well. I don't want to ruin it. Today I'm going to be doing my long-awaited second part of my massive book haul. I went to visit Simon from Savage Reads earlier this month, which was amazing, and I left his house with 23 books. I have 21 things here. The other two, I don't know what I've done with them or what they were. When I re-find them, I will put them in to a new book haul. But this is what I'm going to be doing today, talking through those books. So I'm very, very excited because there's some absolute corkers here. I can't wait to get them on my shelves and also to get reading them. I've sort of not let myself read them or put them on the shelf so that I could do this book haul. David's here. He's closing the door. Bye. But before I do that, let me just remind everybody that it is Cosy Reading Night this Saturday. Cosy Reading Night is a night which runs between 7 and 10 GMT time, where I get myself cosy on a sofa, books, blankets, snacks, nice candle, nice pair of pyjamas on, and we just read for 3 hours. I'll be active on Twitter and on Instagram using the hashtag Cosy Reading Night. I'll link my announcement video down below. I'd love to hear if any of you guys are taking part. My TBR will be up on Friday, and let me know if you guys are going to do, if you've got any TBRs, then link them down below because I would love to see them. And yeah, so that's happening this Saturday. Just wanted to get that out of the way. But to the books. Let's start with something that ain't a book. It is an edition of The Happy Reader, which is a magazine that Penguin released. I tried to get my hand on this before because I saw one that had Dan Stevens on the front, Dan Stevens of Cousin Matthew Downton Abbey fame, and I really wanted it. And then, I don't know, maybe it just slipped out my brain. Sometimes things do that. And I didn't get it. I must get round to buying these and subscribing. Simon had 2 copies of this one with Kristen Scott Thomas on the front, and it's just a magazine about reading, and it's just really lovely. I can't wait to read it. I think that'll be a nice bath item, very light, just to sit. Oh, and you get a free bookmark, as if things can be any better. Didn't even know that. Wonderful. So that's there. So that's the first thing that is in the book. Now, on to the book. So there's so many of these here. I just had to have a little sit through and read through and look through them because I was like, I can't even remember what I've got here. Let's start with this one. First Love by Gwendolyn Riley. This is a gorgeous book, really nice buttery front cover. It's about a relationship between Edwin and Neve. And Neve is a writer in her mid-30s and she's married to an older man, Edwin, and it's just their story, but it's quite short actually, so I feel like this might be one that I get round to. It's under 200 pages, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm going to be saying looking forward to it an awful lot. Once I did a video, let me get myself comfy. Once I did a video, and in it David said to me, you said looking forward to it 17 times, so let's try and not say looking forward to it any more times. If I say it, I'll get a slap on the hand. The next book I got from Simon is The Natural Way of Things by Charlotte Wood. This front cover is gorgeous before we start anything. This is about 2 girls who wake up in the middle of the Australian desert and realise that they're in a sort of like hard labour camp, and then they all get talk, and there's many other girls there, and then when they all get talking, they realise that what links them is that they've had a sexual scandal associated with their past. The concept sounds very interesting, and it sort of piqued my interest. I remember seeing a few reviews about it at the time, maybe Mercedes being one, who didn't like it. But I feel like I want to give it, I can't just always go by what Mercedes says, Jesus. It's got very big font as well, so we'll be getting around to that soon. The next book is a Christmas book, Murder Under the Christmas Tree. It's short stories, I think maybe crime short stories. A few authors that are included in there, Arthur Conan Doyle, Ian Rankin, Val McDermid. This is going into a Christmas box, and I will pop this out. 10 classic crime stories for the festive season. So yeah, get a few Christmas books under it. So I'll put that in a separate pile so I can put that in the Christmas box. The next is Mr. Eternity, a novel by Aaron Thea. Now, I'll be honest, it was this cover that caught my eye. I didn't even know what it's about, and I was like, I love this cover. It's really nice. It's like all wavy different things. It's got a portrait in the background with this Mr. Eternity over his eyes. And then also it says here, by Lauren Groff, who wrote Fates and Furies, Mr. Eternity will be sizzling in my brain for a long time. So let me read to you what it's about. Key West 2016, sea levels are rising, coral reefs are dying. In short, everything is going to hell. It's here that 2 young filmmakers find something to believe in. An old sailor who calls himself Daniel Defoe and claims to be 560 years old. In fact, old Dan is in the prime of his life, an incredible, perhaps eternal life, which Mr. Eternity spins out over a millennium, picking up in the 16th century in the, whoa, that's a word I've never seen before, Viceroyalty of New Granada, and continuing into the 26th, where in the Democratic Federation of Mississippi State, Dan serves as an advisor to the King of St. Louis. So yeah, more on that, but yeah, it was the cover and the quote that grabbed me. Then I also have The Sellout, a novel by Paul Beatty. This recently won the Man Booker Prize, and it's about slavery in the modern day, I believe. I've been meaning to get hold of it for a long time. It's a biting satire about a young man's isolated upbringing and an appeal of a race trial that sends him to the Supreme Court. It challenges the sacred tenements of the US Constitution, urban life, the civil rights movement, the father-son relationship, and the holy grail of racial equality, the Black Chinese restaurant. So yeah, this is... I need to read this. If it won Man Booker, I need to read it. The next one is a book that Simon was going to gift David and ended up gifting me because he prefers me. No, he got David another book. This is An Anatomy of a Soldier by Harry Parker. I hadn't seen or heard anything about this. And then when I was on the tube on last week sometime, I saw a big poster for it and I was like, I've got that. Simon gave that to me. This is the story of a soldier, Captain Tom Barnes, told by 45 objects that he comes into contact with. It sounds like a really interesting premise to a book. I don't think I've ever read anything like that before, and I'll be interested to see how it is executed. But really like that front cover, and I think it sounds very interesting. The next book is a book that I got from Simon when we were doing our book chat with video. So at the end of that, I always recommend a book and ask somebody to recommend it to me. Simon was kind enough to buy me the recommendation that he gave me, which was The Proof of Love by Catherine Hall. He loved it so much, he put his name on it. This is set in the summer about a character called Spencer Little. He has spent the past terms at Cambridge, and something... I don't know if it's unsettling, but something happened at Cambridge. It's also set... in the Lake District. I love books that are set in remote UK places. And he strikes up a friendship with a 10-year-old girl called Alice. Yeah, I think it sounds very interesting. And as I said, Simon loved it so much, put his name on it. This exceptional novel is a very subtly clever book. Rare and wonderful. I loved it 10 out of 10. So, yeah. Very... I said looking forward to it. Very much excited about that, but we'll be reading that in the summer. I had planned to read it this month, and then when I went back, I was like, that sounds like it's set in the summer. I'm going to read that in the summer, so that will be put off until the summer. The next book I have is Selection Day by Aravind Adiga. So he is the chap that wrote The White Tiger, which was, I believe it might have won the Man Booker. I think so. God, I'm so sorry about all this coughing I keep doing. Minnie's being so cute over there. She's like walking on the back of the sofa. It's so like... And because she's got such fluffy legs, she looks like she's got really short legs, and it's really like a big deal for her. Manjunath Kumar is 14. He knows he's good at cricket, if not as good as his elder brother Radha. He knows that he fears and resents his domineering and cricket-obsessed father, admires his brilliantly talented sibling, and is fascinated by the world of CSI and by curious and interesting scientific facts. But there are many other things about himself and about the world that he doesn't know. Sometimes it seems as though everyone around him has a clear idea of who Manju should be, except Manju himself. When Manju begins to get to know Radha's great rival, a boy as privileged and confident as Manju is not, everything in Manju's world begins to change, and he is faced by decisions that will challenge both his sense of self and the world around him. So yeah, that sounds very interesting. And looking forward to that. Looking forward to it. Naughty girl. I shouldn't say that. Right, the next one is one that is super hyped on BookTube. It's The Mothers, a novel by Britt Bennett. I absolutely love this cover. This is a proof copy. Simon... Oh, I said David then. Simon and David, they're both my lovers. Simon has an actual copy of this, so gave me the proof copy. This is about, it says about community and ambition, love and friendship, and living up to the expectation in contemporary Black America. So I feel very excited about that. I think I might read that next month. I like these proof copies, they're nice and floppy. That's that. The next one is One by Sarah Crosnan. This is a book that I read last year. It is told in prose. It's a YA book told in prose about two conjoined twins and their journey on perhaps separating from one another. I really love this. I can't believe I overlooked this in my favourite books of 2016. I think I only gave it 4 stars, and when I was looking at my 2016, I looked at my 5-star books, but this I really loved last year, and what I did, I borrowed the copy from my friend who I bought it for her birthday. Buy a present for her birthday, borrow it back to read it. There's a tip for you guys. So Simon had a copy of this and was giving it up. I have Sarah Crossan's second book here, which is called We Come Apart, which I must get round to reading as well. But I think this is going to be one of the books that I read in my online book club. So if you're a friend of mine and part of my online book club, then this will be coming up at some point. It's a very interesting concept, like to read a book in prose. I've never done it before. I absolutely flew through this. Really, and I was crying by the end. It was heartbroken. But yeah, really, really love this. Would recommend this to lovers of YA, lovers to things different, people who want a quick read. Just, I really, really enjoyed it. I think David would really like this too as well, so I might force him into reading it. The next book is The Optician of Lampeudusa by Emma Jane Kirby. This is a story. It's beautiful, this book. It is, it's about mass migration and immigrants and... See, I'm just having a look. It's each chapter, I think, starts The Optician of Lampeudusa. No, it doesn't. Just two. So this is quite a short little... It looks like a novella. It's barely even 100 pages long. It's 115 pages long. Very important to be reading. I saw this in the front window of Waterstones as well, so I think it's relatively new. Then I've got The Exiled by Kato Hikapelto? Katie Hikapelto. It's a crime book set in Finland. So I enjoy crime, and I want to get more into sort of Scandinavian noir, so I thought this would be a good one for me. So we'll be getting around to that as well. Then I've got two Daphne du Maurier books that Simon was kind enough to give me. First of all, The Doll, which is short stories. Both of these are short stories. The Doll, which is short stories, and The Breaking Point, two collections of short stories. As you all know, I love Daphne du Maurier, and this was very, very kind of Simon to give me these doubled up. Eventually, I think I'll buy them in the Virago Modern Classics, but I've still got 3 Virago Modern Classics ones I haven't even read yet. But I feel like I'm excited about these short stories. But maybe I'll get one on the go soon. Like, just maybe read the odd short story there, here and there. Sometimes I feel like that doesn't get the most out of it. How do you get the most out of your short stories? Do you feel like you get the most out of them when you read the whole lot all together, or do you feel like when you sort of dip into it? Be interested to hear about that. Would be. The next one is a poetry collection by Andrew Macmillan. It is called Physical. It is the winner of the 2015 Guardian First Book Award and shortlisted for the 2015 Costa Poetry Award. I want to get more into poetry. Here's David. Oh, he looks so cute. He's got his little Toy Story shoes on. What a babe. I want to get more into poetry, and Simon said this was a very, very interesting collection. So we'll be reading that soon. I also have Fingers in the Sparkle Jar by Chris Packham. Chris Packham? I didn't know he spelt his name like that. I thought he spelt his name C-R-I-S. He's very popular in the my father household. You also quite enjoy Chris Packham. He is a TV presenter who's got a sort of background in conservation and wildlife, and he hosts a programme which is on 4 times a year: Winter Watch, Autumn Watch, Spring Watch and Summer Watch. And he's very into his birds and nature and things like that myself are. Oh look, there's dinosaurs there, David. And this is his autobiography, his memoir. And I listened to a clip of the audiobook when I was considering getting it as an audiobook, and I thought, it is read by Chris Packham, and I was like, do I want to do that? But I feel like maybe this is one that I would want to read. It sounded like there was lots of beautiful language used when I was listening to the audiobook, and sometimes I feel like I take that in better when I'm reading, so that is one there. I've now got 2 books which are told from children's perspectives. First of all is Shtum by Jem Lester. This is about a young lad who doesn't speak, I believe. So he's got a 10-year-old son who's never spoke, and then him and his son are forced to move in with Ben's elderly father, and it says like Jonah can't speak and Ben and his father won't speak, and it's just sounds like it's going to be very interesting. I do enjoy a story told from a child's perspective. And then I've also got Anna and the Swallow Man by Gabrielle Savitt. This is much lighter than I thought it would be. It says here, on 6th of November 1989, Anna's father has to go away for a few hours. He left shortly after 11 o'clock. He did not come back again. So it's a wartime story. It's beautifully published. Like, the end papers are absolutely gorgeous. I really like this front cover as well. So that's that. And then the last 2 books are books that are set in Ireland. Simon knows how fond I am of books set in Ireland. And the first one is Rockadoon Shore by Rory Gleeson. And it says here, one of the most exciting Irish storytellers to have emerged in years. Kathy's worried about her friends. Dan is struggling with the death of his ex. Lucy is struggling way too much, and Steph has become closed off. A weekend away is just what they need, so they travel out to Rockadoon Lodge in the wilds of West Island. But the weekend doesn't go to plan. JJ is more concerned with getting high than spending time with them, while Merc is humiliated and seeks revenge. And with long ignored tensions out in the open, their elderly neighbour Maliki arrives on the doorstep with a gun in his hand. Yeah, very exciting, that one. And then the last one, again set in Ireland, is Himself by Jess Kidd. It says here, when Mahoney returns to Moulderig, a speck of a place on Ireland's west coast, 2 books set in Ireland's west coast, he brings only a photograph of his long-lost mother and a determination to do battle with the lies of his past. No one living or dead will tell Mahoney what happened to the teenage mother who abandoned him as a boy, despite his certainty that more than one of the villagers knows the sinister truth. Between Moulderig's sly priest, its pitiless nurse, and the caustic elderly actress throwing herself into her final village play, this beautiful and darkly comic debut novel creates an unforgettable world of mystery, bloody violence, and buried secrets. So yeah, so they're the books I got when I visited Simon. Thank you so much, Simon. You're going to absolutely fill my bookshelves up. I'm very excited. David, do you remember the books you got from Simon? Do you want to show them?
I haven't got them.
He hasn't got them. He's too busy playing Carrot Fantasy. We've become very obsessed with Carrot Fantasy. It's almost taken over like actual talking to each other and communication in our house. We just now play Carrot Fantasy until the iPad runs out of charge. Charge it up, do what you've got to do in there, go to toilet, eat, sleep, then wake up, do Carrot Fantasy all over again. That was my book haul. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do let me know if you're joining in with Cosy Reading Night. Please do let me know if you've read any of these or looking forward to any of these. And I'll see you all again on Wednesday for another BookTube video.